Which sectors in the market should we be watching?
Yeah, in terms of getting a boost, pharmaceuticals, biotech, as well as banks could be finding some support, if not at least staying away from harm. Let's go into pharma first, into my first Bloomberg terminal, shall we? And this is in your GTV library. And the large cap biotech, which is in blue, and the pharma stocks, which are in white, you can see that they are cheaper than the S&P 500 all this year. That is in yellow. You can see actually it's been cheaper ever since 2016. Now, the reason that we might see this pop, though, is because we know that Donald Trump has been threatening Big Pharma with price controls on its medication. If there is gridlock, as we're expecting with the House, then this could be a positive event for those companies. Also, if the Democrats actually sweep Congress, though, there might be some negative there because there could be this fear trade, because the Dems might actually try to push ahead with some kind of Medicare pharmaceuticals, Medicare here being the operative word, and that actually implies that there would be lower priced drugs out there on the market. Now, in terms of the companies that might take a hit, let's go ahead and take a look at, for example, Biogen as well as Amgen here. We can see Amgen right now, year to date, up by a little more than 7%. But you see that between September and October, when Donald Trump really started to call in and say, you know what, I'm going to start looking at these drug prices. We can see the stock there for Amgen as well as Biogen also take a hit. You can see there from September and actually for the year down by about 5%. Let's go into banks, because I mentioned that earlier, and hop back into the Bloomberg terminal here because at least with banks, there might not be any harm coming from this. The reason for this is because Donald Trump has already put his regulators in place. Cowen is saying that they're still going to push those proposals to moderate what they say is the existing regime, a.k.a. this is what the Obama administration put in. So Cowen, at least for their part, is still overall positive. And Haidt Capital Markets is saying that, you know, if the GOP actually keeps the House, anything that would be passed in the legislation, I'm sorry, if the Democrats take the House, anything that passes there could still and very well probably will die in the Senate.
Sure. Oh, tech has taken a beating lately. What happens to them if we see a split Congress?
I think the beating actually continues, unfortunately, for tech investors here. This is what analysts are saying, at least. The reason for this is because in terms of all the negativity out there, from election hacking to social media issues to, you know, the Facebook Cambridge Analytica scandal, these things aren't going away regardless of who controls the House as well as the Senate. Hop again into the Bloomberg terminal, and I want to show you that we've been seeing the negativity on the FANGs here, that is in blue, and this may continue. This is at its narrowest, actually, with the S&P 500. This is really making out, interestingly, to be, can we actually say the bipartisan word, bipartisan issue here in this polarized Congress? California Democrat is saying, you know, there needs to be an internet bill of rights for citizens, and a South Dakota representative saying that clearly self-regulation isn't efficient, so they're going to need to go in for themselves. Finally, the industrials are one other sector that could see some headwinds here. Hopping finally one more time into the Bloomberg with me. And the trade war, we've been talking about that, won't go away. Rising commodity costs are still going to stay with us. Goldman Sachs says that there's only a 25% chance of an infrastructure spending package. I raise infrastructure because this was formerly a bipartisan issue. Donald Trump was saying, you know what, maybe we could do this.
I can't even remember.
Maybe I shouldn't even say that word anymore because it seems like it's sort of long gone. But if the Democrats actually sweep Congress, guess what? They probably aren't going to do anything about compromise here. They're going to go and probe Donald Trump and try to do everything they can to undo what he's done over the past few years.